The final video in this series is on the human-in-the-loop AI systems, which is a concept of explainable and responsible AI that is gaining significant attention. And these systems can integrate human expertise and oversight into AI lifecycle to ensure accuracy, fairness, and ethical compliance. Let's look at three different categories. First, let's start with interactive machine learning models. Here we can start with collaborative model training and domain experts, where interactive machine learning focuses on involving domain experts directly into the model training process. And this collaboration often involves experts providing feedback on the model output, which is then used to adjust and improve the model. For example, in a medical diagnostic AI systems, doctors might review and provide feedback on diagnostic prediction, which is then used to refine the model. In the second category over here, active learning and annotation projects, the active learning is a subset of interactive machine learning. And this is an area of research where the model queries the human user to label or annotate certain data points. This method is effective in scenarios where labeled data is scarce or expensive to obtain. So for example, in natural language processing, linguistic experts might be asked to annotate ambiguous sentences to improve a language model understanding. And third is the human in the loop for bias mitigation, which is here. There are also projects that specifically focus on using human input to identify and mitigate biases in AI models. In these projects, domain experts review model decisions to identify potential biases, which are then addressed through further training or algorithmic adjustments. And then moving on to let me change the cover. Moving on to the expert review and oversight, here we need to have regular audits of AI systems, especially in fields like healthcare, finance, and criminal justice, where AI decisions have significant consequences. So the projects need to establish regular review and oversight mechanisms, and this involves domain experts or auditing teams periodically reviewing AI decisions to ensure that they are accurate, fair, and ethically sound. Secondly, the framework for ethical and legal oversight. Research is also being conducted on developing frameworks and guidelines for how these reviews should be conducted. This includes establishing criteria for what constitutes a fair and ethical AI decision and outlining process for addressing any issues that are identified during the review. And final is the integration with regulatory compliance. And in regulated industries, these oversight mechanisms are being aligned with legal and regulatory compliance requirements. For example, in healthcare, AI systems that assist with diagnostics or treatment are subject to review not only for medical accuracy, but also for compliance with healthcare regulations. And looking at finally at the impact, we need to have continuous refinement and auditing, and we need to ensure that these systems are ethical and fair, and they need to align with human values and expertises. But as a final comment here, we are trying to build AI systems that would respond like a human, but quite often we are trying to build systems that are more ethical than humans. Now imagine a scenario where you are driving a car, and this car is in a collision course, and you only have two scenarios. Scenario one, and hold on, that's not one, and scenario two. Scenario 2 is over here, scenario 1 is over there. In scenario 1, you crash into a bus full of school children and probably kill a few of them, but there is a chance that you're going to survive. Scenario 2 is that you drive over a cliff edge, resulting with certain death, but you're not going to kill the children. So in scenario 1, let's say you have a 50-50% chance of surviving. In scenario 2, you have 0% chance of surviving. we're building AI models that we want them to be so ethical that they would preserve the human values in the way that we perceive them, how they should be. But tell me, who is going to buy a car that is going to drive over a cliff? Not many people are going to buy that car. The natural human reaction is self-preservation, which is to hit the past and hope for the best. So the alignments with human values and expertises, this is where it requires more ethical debate, because if you build a system that is going to drive you over a cliff, many people just won't buy that system and they would rather have the wheels in their hands. And there's many other examples where this is very problematic. But on that note, I'm ending this session and we're going to start with a different topic. I think this is probably enough on the topic of explainable, ethical, and transparent AI models.